Those gas prices not helping how much it costs to go into the office now. A new survey from Owl Labs found around 66% of workers are back in person 5 days a week, and they spend about $51 every day. So here's the breakdown. You ready for this? $16 on lunch, $14 on commuting, $13 on breakfast and coffee, and $8 on parking. And if you have a pet, you're spending more than $70 a day to go into the office. That really adds up. So joining me now, we have Mario Henry, a financial strategist. And Mario, thank you for being with us today.
Great to be here.
Now, you have a very interesting story when it comes to money, because you admit you made some bad decisions before and made a commitment then to make good decisions moving forward. Tell the people a little bit about your background.
Well, I used to play for the National Football League, and I played in the 90s under the Patriots. I guess my claim to fame is I wore the famous number 12 for the New England Patriots before Tom Brady.
Oh, wow. And then you ended up here as a successful financial strategist. Tell me about that. How'd that happen?
Well, I had to go broke first. I was the statistic from a lot of NFL players that are broke shortly after the NFL career ends. And I had to really have to come to Jesus moment to be able to see that I was not practicing with the playbook that was taught to us. And so what I did, I came up with the quest to be able to have financial literacy be at the epitome of my mind as far as how we were going to be with the general public. And then I use a lot of analogies from when I played ball and everything like that, just to be able to make a boring subject like finance a little bit less intimidating.
Well, especially when I just read all those numbers, when you're talking about coffee, you're talking about lunch, you're talking the community, and you're talking about the pet. Tell me a little bit about how we can save when we're going back into the office. A lot of times we don't have a choice. What kind of things do we I imagine when you heard me rattling that off, there are some things that are just like, stop it, cut it off. That's not where you're spending your money anymore.
It's actually worse than what you said, because you got to think about it. That's pre-tax dollars that we get paid. So when you look at that $15 or that $70 that you stated that it would cost if you had the animal, that's pre-tax. I mean, we get paid with after-tax dollars. That's really about $100 you have to be able to make to be able to net $70, depending upon what state you're in. So I would start first with packing my lunch, eating my breakfast, either bringing it, and then I'll probably buy a nice coffee mug, and then I'll bring my coffee. You got to look at areas to audit to be able to start to look about what you can do to stop it, because this inflation is not going to go away. You can't think that you're just going to get a pay raise because you want it. You got to be able to look at what you can control instead of what you can't control, because this thing is like a runaway train. Unfortunately, I think it's going to get worse.
So you gave me a couple good places where you can give yourself a raise. I know a lot of jobs you can't get that raise right now. So how can you feed your own pocket like that?
Well, what I would do, of course, you got to do this with an accountant. So you might want to be able to change some of your allowances in your paycheck so you can actually change your withholding. So you can actually, instead of getting a tax return of $5,000 maybe at the end of the year, depending upon what your situation is, you might want to change your allowances so more money is coming into your paycheck. So then from that point, you're actually increasing your take-home pay, and you might decrease what your tax return is going to be. Sometimes you need that money right now so you can be able to help yourselves, especially with this financial crunch that we're in right now.
Mario, what's your favorite money saving tip?
Make more money. Sorry. I'm just joking. My favorite money making tip is really trying to audit where every single dollar is coming back. You know, look at your cable, look at what, if you're not looking at all the channels that you're looking at, look at your auto debits that's coming out. Sometimes, you're looking, you're like, who is that? So you got to do a complete audit with everything, and then you're going to give yourself a pay raise naturally.
Yeah, I look at my subscription on my iPhone, because there's some subscriptions that are sitting there that you're not using. You're like, I don't need to pay for that app anymore. What's that app? Mario Henry, thank you so much. I appreciate
you so
and your
much.
story.
Have a great one.
And I hope to hear from you again soon.